Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Hope you're all having a good next session so far. I want to start off by saying thank you for making the next 45 minutes to spend time with us. And with that, my name is Rohit Puri, and with me I have Srinath Padmanabhan today, and we are both part of the Google Cloud Platform team at Google. And I'll let you introduce yourself first.
Thanks, Rohit. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. Hopefully you find this session useful. And we will, of course, stay on for any questions you have after the session. My name is Srinath. I'm a product manager here at Google Cloud. And I've been at Google Cloud for just under 6 years next month. And so I started off my career as a developer writing C++ code more than 15 years ago. And then it's been a long while, so I came full circle and I said, okay, I want to start building tools that help developers be more efficient and go faster. And so that's a little bit about me and where I am today. I work in the DevTools org and help build tools to help developers go faster.
Awesome, Thank you. So I'm going to date myself here, given what Srinath just talked about. I've been in the space for about 25 plus years, only in engineering, PM, dev, desk, marketing, sales, done the whole shebang. And I had an epiphany about a couple of weeks back when I was talking to Srinath. When I started my career 25 years back, the technology was the most interesting place to be. But there were these conversations around me about student loan, paying for college, kids going to college, and I had no interest in them. 25 years later, I am those people now, because I have kids going to college, technology, and they're all ramping up as well, right? With that in mind, quick show of hands, how many here have worked with a cloud platform in development? And keep your hand up if that's been GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Very cool, exciting. So with the changes in the technology landscape, I'm sure the audience here has been through that as well in the last, say, 20 years. The pace of change in technology has been fast, and it's only gotten faster, right? With that, businesses, people, organizations, all need to keep up to speed with that technology to make the best use of it. It is exciting, but sometimes can get challenging as well. With that in mind, today's 45 minutes is focused on, you saw the innovations today at our keynote on cloud and AI, right? In parallel is how do I ramp up, keep up to speed, and make the best use of this technology in a quick, fast way. So we'll spend a few minutes talking about the introduction and overview of what we'll cover. We'll go through the learning cycle and what it takes from a developer's perspective to sort of be up to speed and take the most out of technology. Srinath will do a walkthrough of all the things that Google has invested in to make it easier for people to adopt the technology, get up to speed, and learn about it. And we'll end the day with pointers to some hands-on areas that we found useful and we're investing in to make it easier for you to learn and get started with the Google Cloud and AI technologies, right? With that in mind, if you look at the cloud and AI space, the speed of innovation has been so fast. Like, I remember initially, way back when you started off, the adoption of technology was done in CDs. You get the CD, you get a learning path with it, and you ramp up, you have all the time in the world. Now we are, where technology goes, the click of a button. So the learning, adoption, and the expected results from that are also expected at that pace that we are today, right? Do you want anything to that, Srinath?
Yeah, and to that point, even if you go back a few years, anything you needed to learn, anything you were getting started with, the place to go to would have been to a search engine. You go to Google, you search for it. And I still remember the jokes about how people used to say, oh, searching is a skill. And it still is. Like, oftentimes, two people searching for the same thing, one may end up with better results than the other. And now, with all of these AI tools and capabilities available like Bard, you can go and have an AI tool do that search for you and potentially come up with what most people have found useful in that space. So it's like even over the course of every year, things are getting better and easier and faster for people to get started and get going.
And the key aspect for that, and I'm sure you guys have experienced as well, is when you want to learn a new technology, you learn up to speed, there are learning paths, you need certifications, you need collateral to go and get hands-on with it, right? So there's a whole plethora of artifacts that need to follow to make that technology useful and get ramped up. Then the last piece is templates and jumpstart. So you've ramped up, you've learned about it, but now you want to get productive and show ROI. How do you go start doing that? You need templates and jumpstarts to do that. And as you learn a new technology, you build your own templates to sort of deploy things faster and quicker, right? With that in mind, I'd like to share a quick survey that we sort of did this last year. One was from an online learning experience where they went and surveyed people saying, if you're this age group or this technology, what are your learning preferences and modalities and all that? So 80% now go to online resources to learn, right? And the biggest challenge we sort of heard back from that survey was the initial bump of getting familiar with the technology, the language, or the stack that you're going to work with, right? With that in mind, as a developer, it's more and more sort of critical for us to go through the cycle. A new technology comes out, you get started, you expect to get productive with it, start deploying stuff, and then show results, right? Within that cycle, Google is investing into the areas of learning paths, tools, and then you saw a demo this morning at the keynote about how you can use AI and Duet AI to sort of help you with that, right? One of the key things I can share in experiences is I started my journey in developer support and an escalation engineer. And when a customer calls you with a problem, something is broken, you need to learn something about something new, you go asking someone in the next cubicle, ask someone else to sort of find the solutions for that, right? And with the advent of AI and Duet AI, you have that personal sort of help, which collates that, say, tribal knowledge for you, right? With that in mind, I'll hand it over to Srinath to sort of walk us through these 3 areas.
Awesome. So I'm going to do a few different things today. I'm going to talk about, as a developer, especially if you're starting with Google Cloud, there are a plethora of tools that are available for you that can help make your onboarding and your productivity journey much easier. So I'm going to talk very briefly about a few of those, and we'll see some of those in a demo. So to get started, what are some of these tools, right? So as a developer, if you were to come and ask me what are the things I should familiarize with most from a tools perspective, these would potentially be 3 of the things that I would point out to. So first off, you have Google Cloud CLI. So what is Google Cloud CLI? Google Cloud CLI is a command line tool that you can install on your laptop, and it's going to let you perform most of your Google Cloud resource management type of operations, as well as your authentication and things like that, right from a CLI. I definitely recommend all of you, especially if you're new to Google Cloud and learning, to go take a look at our console, familiarize yourself with products, because obviously day 0 when you're getting started, there's going to be a lot more information there. There's going to be a lot more detailed about how you can go and do things, what different options are, what they mean, and all of that. But once you get to that base level of productivity and you're going into your day 2, day 3 of actually developing, having a tool like Google Cloud CLI can really help you do these things a lot faster. And one other quick example I want to point out is even going back to the Stack Overflow survey and like even research we've done internally at Google, but also in conversations I've had with developers and customers, right? Oftentimes, majority of developers spend, and I'm sure most of you know this, right? Like developers spend a big bulk of their time in the IDE. Now, every time you have to context switch out of that, there is a cost to it. So most developers spend a majority for sure of their time in the IDE, and they want to see how they can get help without context switching out. And with Google Cloud CLI, it lets you do a lot of these operations that you need to without having to context switch out and context switch back in. The second one is the Google Cloud SDK. So we have SDKs, which are client libraries for you, available across most of the popular languages. And these will help you programmatically interact with products. And I've specifically chosen cloud storage just as an example for today. We're going to see that in a few different ways in the demo that I'm going to do in a bit. And the last one is Cloud Code. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Cloud Code. Actually, let me do another quick informal poll. How many of you have heard of Cloud Code? Okay. So one thing I would recommend is, especially if you're in your IDE, go to the marketplace and look up Google Cloud Code. Google Cloud Code is available on Visual Studio Code. It's available on the IntelliJ JetBrains suite of IDEs as well. And it lets you do a few different things. First off, it makes it easier for you to pull in API samples, learn about things, and to really write code to work with GCP. It lets you do your inner dev loop much more easily whenever you're building cloud applications. And again, especially if you're doing it with GCP, but with respect to deploying this to containers or cloud functions or wherever you're trying to deploy whatever code you're writing. And the third reason I think you should try out Cloud Code is because all of the things that you're seeing or you've been seeing with respect to Duet, Cloud Code is the way that it comes into the IDE. So when you install Cloud Code as a part of that, Duet is going to get installed as well. And so we'll take a look at that in a minute as well. So with that, as you try to get productive, there's a few things that a few steps that you can take, a few things that you can do that might help you along in that journey. First off, there's going to be sample applications. Cloud Code gives you a few sample applications, especially if you're new to Google Cloud, like a Hello World app and a few other applications to start with containers, Cloud Functions, Cloud Run. So it makes it easy for you to get started. And of course, if you're going for more complicated things, there is so many open source applications available where you can get started. And I guess the big key there is as you continue to work through this, you will come up with your own templates, you will come up with your own sort of getting started applications that you can then either like share it with more folks in your company or like, at least help improve your productivity through those. Cloud API browser, we'll take a look at it quickly, but it's something that's available through Cloud Code that lets you look at APIs, enable them, look at code samples and pull them in. And lastly, of course, bringing in AI-powered tools. AI-powered tools can do a lot for you, and especially with the speed at which this technology is evolving, today it helps you write code, and it's getting better and better at these things. So I'm definitely excited to see what are newer and more interesting capabilities that come in over the years. Sorry, wrong side. With that, I'm going to go through a quick walkthrough, and I'm going to show you Cloud Code and a few of the things that we talked about. All right, there we go. So first off, when you do log into your IDE, today for this demo, I'm just using Visual Studio Code, but when you go to Marketplace and you search for Google Cloud or Cloud Code, this is the IDE plugin that you'll be able to install. Once you install it, there is a walkthrough for Duet AI that lets you see exactly how you can use and interact with Duet AI. But rest assured, there's a lot of sessions over the course of this conference that's going into a lot more detail, so I definitely recommend looking those up and attending some of those as well for Duet-specific questions. But this, in a sense, on the left is what you're going to see when you install Cloud Code. As I mentioned, one of the things so Cloud Code is going to let you do a lot of things. So if you go to the command prompt, you're going to be able to very easily spin up a new application, choose the platform that you want, like I mentioned, Cloud Run, Kubernetes, Cloud Functions, and then there's also going to be prompts that let you deploy it into those particular platforms. And in this particular case, what I have done is I have preemptively downloaded a Kubernetes application just to make sure that we're not dealing with internet issues, which luckily we haven't. So everything's great. So so what you see here is a Python Hello World sample application that I've downloaded. And this is going to have everything. If you go and look here, it's going to have everything that you need to very quickly and easily deploy this application into GCP. Now, this is where the power of Duet AI comes in. So if you want to write an application, like let's say as I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about Cloud Functions a little bit today, Cloud Storage a little bit today, but let's say you want to create a Cloud Storage bucket. What you can do is you can just have a comment in there that says, write a function to create a Google Cloud Storage bucket. And you hit Control Enter, and what Duet is going to do is it's going to generate this code sample, and it's going to show up right there. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm good on. Yeah, I've been having some internet connectivity issues today, which meant this has been a little bit of hit and miss. But anyway, we'll come back to this and take a look at this momentarily. But again, you have Duet Chat here that's going to let you do the exact same things as well, where you can go and ask questions, and it's going to help you generate code and do all of those kind of things. So with that, we took a quick look at Cloud Code and what Cloud Code can give you. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a few other tools that are specifically learner-focused and going to help you, especially if you're getting started with your journey, either in cloud or even if you're just learning to program, right? So one of the partners who we've been working with on this front is Replit. So I'm sure many of you have heard of Replit. Replit is a great place to go and learn to code. Like they have this course on learning to code in Python in 100 days, which is very popular. And so we've been working with Replit, and as a part of this partnership, what you have now is, as of today morning, we now have some templates available here in Replit that you can easily open up and start interacting with some of these APIs. And in this case, the exact API that we've pulled in is for storage, just to show you, just to continue with that theme. Not only that, very soon you'll also be able to, right from the Google Cloud documentation pages, you'll be able to open code samples, starting with a few and then over time growing to more samples. You can directly click on one button and open it in Replit. Once you do this, Replit also has an extension available that's going to help you easily authenticate into Google Cloud. And once you authenticate into Google Cloud, you will also be able to, so all you do is you say connect into Google Cloud and it's going to walk you through a set of steps to authenticate. And once you do that, you will be able to run this API sample and get productive really, really quickly. And the last thing I want to talk about before handing back to Rohit is, in addition to all of this, there are, of course, a lot of other tools out there. Like, for instance, Bard. You can go to Bard, and what you can also do with Bard is you can go and search for these exact same kind of things, right? Like, it's a great tool because at the same time, it's going to let you plan your trips, but it's also going to let you write code. So there's a lot of these tools and capabilities that are becoming available. So I definitely recommend that you all go and try out some of these tools. And this is a great set of things that you can use to help you get productive faster and to go faster once you've started. So the one other thing I do want to mention is, so we talked about templates that are available through Cloud Code, through code samples, and how you can improve those templates over time as you get started. But another really great feature or a product in Google Cloud that's become generally available at Next is our Jumpstart solutions. So what Jumpstart solutions provide you, as you can see on the left, is it takes popular tasks or things that as a developer you might want to try and has the entire stack available for you so that you can click and deploy it with one touch so that you don't have to go through figuring out exactly how to get them all networked, get them all working. So it's a one-click solution that's going to let you deploy these applications and go from zero to having them up and running in no time. So with that, I'm going to hand off to Rohit. And Rohit, you're new to Google, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've learned as a part of learning and getting started with Google Cloud?
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. So I've been in Google about just over a year now, right? And one of the things that sort of helped me was, like I said before, the learning paths, the certifications, and the quick starts, right? So I'll share a few of those that sort of helped me through my journey to get started. And I highly recommend folks who haven't done this to try it. There are more certifications, more learning paths coming out every day. So go explore those. They were very helpful to me, right? So one of the things that sort of helped me out was this map here is I come from an application modernization space. So it sort of gives me a guided way of saying, if I want to do application modernization, what are the areas that I should look for and what content should I go and sort of learn, the learning paths and things like that, right? There's a plethora of content out there, and this helped me navigate the directions where I want to take my next steps in my professional journey. It also helped me, I'll share a story, is I have a son who's in high school right now, and he had a project to do for building a mobile app. And I don't know how many of people here have worked with Xamarin or tools before to build a cross-platform mobile app. And it's a very long, tedious process, even though sort of the tooling helps you, right? With the document, learning path, and templates here, we were able to build a Flutter app talking to the backend in about, say, 3 days. So from coming from zero to get to that, these learning paths and templates really, really helped us get to that place, right? The first one that really helped me was to getting started with the Google Cloud. I come from a background of Microsoft and AWS cloud experiences, right? So GCP was very new to me. So this path really helped me get started, understand what the hands-on lab environment inside GCP platform was, how do I get my account set up, how do I start doing through the labs and sort of spinning things up and trying them out without any sort of hurdles, right? It made it very seamless for me. It also had a few, if you look at number 7 and 8, sort of similarities between where I come from and my knowledge of cloud development on Azure and how related to what I want to do in GCP. So those sort of are very helpful for me. The next thing that has helped me was in the most recent sort of innovations and sort of advancements in generative AI is I was new to this space, right? I'm personally coming in from outside, right? So these sort of learning paths, introduction, LLM, responsible AI, fundamentals, helped me sort of ramp up in this particular space. So the first one helped me get familiar with the GCP cloud space. This one helped me get sort of ramped up on the generative AI space. And I also wanted to call out there are 7 new AI courses that sort of been published recently as well. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I thought I'd put it here. These help you understand the BERT modeling, image generation, caption modeling, and architecture decoder, which you saw some of the demos in the keynote this morning as well. So we have them here. I would love for you to sort of try these out. They're very helpful in my journey so far, right? Building on top of that, one of the key aspects is certifications in today's thing in a professional career, right? To show credibility on the domain knowledge and things like that. So there are these certifications that we keep building on. We also have a list of certifications here, depending on your domain of expertise and where you want to go. Certifications you can explore and sort of take forward.